You have been in India in 2016. So, what is the most best thing that you love about India, and one worst thing that you really didn't like in India?
The food. I love the food.
Everyone
Great
does.
flavors. Yeah, no, I always enjoy that. I think sometimes it's hard to see the poverty in India.
It's really.
People begging for food or money and those little things. Where I'm from, you don't see that a lot. And then, especially my first couple of times in India, it's sometimes hard to see the people struggling just to get food.
If the sky turns black, it don't matter. We know the sun is coming up. We're so strong, it won't shatter.
Hey guys, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tales Down the 22 Yards. And this week we have got someone very, very special, and someone who, along with his tweet, went way viral all around India, all across India. Well, one of the fastest growing stars of Netherlands cricket has represented for the Winnipeg Hawks in the Global T20 Canada, along with the likes of DJ Bravo, Umar Rakmal, Chris Lynn, has bowled brilliantly, was a part of the 2016 World Cup, and would also be the part of the 2020 T20 World Cup, that would be held in Australia. But unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has ruined all of his dreams. Well, I have got with me Paul Van Meekeren all the way. Paul, how are you? How have you been doing?
Very good. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Everything is going normal. Yeah, good morning, first of all. And very warm welcome to Tales Down the 22 Yards. And
it's a cold welcome here in the UK, by the way. It's a bit fresh at the moment.
Yeah, I can see the hoodies on. But guess
exactly.
what? I don't have a hoodie, so it's all temperate over here. All right. First of all, Paul, the thing I'd love to use that you're one of the star cricketers for Netherlands, being honest, and at the present moment. And the thing is that, how did your cricketing journey begin? You have been a part of the under 13, under 15, under 19 team of Netherlands, if I'm not wrong. So how did it all begin? Would you just tell this in details for all of us?
Just as a little boy, I always was fascinating with sports and ball sports. I was throwing around cricket balls in the house and footballs, broke a few mirrors and windows. But my dad was a cricket player, and the way it works back home, quite often one of your family members is a cricketer, and then you sort of get into the cricket, you get the cricket bug of your family. Actually, there was a stage that I wanted to stop playing cricket, but then my parents said maybe play for one more year, and I think they saw the love and enjoyment I got out of the game, which I didn't maybe feel. And then from that on, I always got sort of that year after I got selected for the Dutch age groups and make my way through the ranks. But yeah, I've always enjoyed playing sports. And then at some stage, I made the decision to fully focus on my cricket and stop playing football and hockey.
All right. So it's great to know that you were a passionate football player and also hockey. Well, that's great. But cricket...
A little bit, yeah. But I was never as good as I was in my cricket.
All right. All right, Paul. And so your dad, was he a cricketer too? Like, did he play for the domestic circuit for Netherlands?
No, he was just a club cricketer. He played a little bit of age group stuff. He had other interests as well, which sort of went ahead of cricket. So he still was a cricketer. He still plays a little bit with his old friends, which sometimes maybe doesn't look like cricket, but they take it very seriously. And he follows my cricket journey very closely.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul, now you have been a part of the international side. You have also played domestic cricket. So what are the challenges that you face, playing what are the difference in the challenges that you face playing the counties, the domestic cricket, and between representing your international side?
The good thing about county cricket is, and unfortunately we don't have a setup like that in the Netherlands, is that you're a full-time cricketer. You don't have to worry about your income. You get your monthly salaries. You have a yearly salary. You can just focus on cricket 24/7. You don't have any worries. Playing international cricket for the Dutch team, unfortunately, is slightly different. We don't have the financial backings and financial sponsors in Holland as in some of the big nations. So a lot of our players, they study or they work, and sometimes that even come before cricket. and that balance of getting cricket and you know your career where you maybe have to earn most of your money to you know to pay the bills at the end of the day. That balance is sometimes very hard in Holland, and we've lost some very talented cricketers because of that. But you know, we're slowly seeing a change in that, where guys get a small monthly retainer and can focus a little bit more on their cricket, and hopefully we can continue that and get some more full-time contracts in the next few years.
All right, yeah, let's hope that. Let's hope, you know, that Netherlands, a lot of talented cricketers are there, but you know, due to financial crisis, we have seen that, you know, happening in a lot of countries, you know. Well, okay, Paul, and this time you have been a part of a lot of franchise cricket, you know. You have been a part of the Amsterdam Knights, the Winnipeg Hawks, the Kowloon Cantons, the Biratnagar Warriors, you know, and many more. So how has franchise cricket helped you improve as a bowler, as a cricketer?
You know, it's been a great experience. Obviously, these are the smaller T20 tournaments, franchise tournaments, but they've always been like big names. So in Hong Kong, I played against Sangakkara, or Kumar Sangakkara. Actually, set big Hawks like Clint, Umar Akman, Bravo in the squad. So, you know, just being around those guys and you see them play at these bigger tournaments and internationally, you think that might be a step too far. That level might be too high for sort of guys in the associate circles, but then actually going head to head against these players actually shows that we are not far off, and we can definitely compete in probably the bigger tournaments as well, like the IPL and the Pakistan Super League. But it's all about, you know, hopefully an associate player getting those opportunities in those big tournaments.
Absolutely, and there have been few inspiration, you know, such as Ali Khan, you know, we saw, and there have been few others, you know, first of all, we didn't know how Rashid Khan was, but now look at him, you know, Rashid Mujib from Afghanistan. They have been one of the star T20 bowlers, and yeah, soon we might see many more, you know.
Let's hope so.
Always ready for surprises. Well, yeah, Paul, coming to one of those funniest things that happened, you know, 2 weeks back. You know, a tweet of yours went viral, you know, and what was the reaction, you know? It was like, you have been working for the Uber Eats, you know, due to the COVID-19 financial crisis. And when you saw that tweet getting viral, you know, what was your reaction to it? You must not be prepared for it.
I was a bit surprised. I was just watching the golf, the Masters were on one of the big golf tournaments. And I saw like sort of the T20 World Cup final was supposed to be played that day as well. And I just sent out a small tweet, and then my phone just kept lighting up, and you saw just all the retweets and likes and messages coming in, and mainly from India. And it was basically, maybe except one or two, it was all positive and like, don't worry, you'll be back on the cricket field soon. We like, you know, we hope to see you in the T20 World Cup, which is going to be in India next year. So, you know, all those messages, you know, got me very excited in playing cricket again, and sort of made me remember how much I love cricket and how much I miss cricket. And I'm sure when the time comes, we can get on the field. The guys in orange will be putting some strong performances out.
Yeah, absolutely. And about the COVID-19 that you speak, you know, like we all know that how much the economy has fallen, you know, in each and every countries. So what is it like? Like you mentioned that you're working for the Uber Eats right now, but what is like the financial situation about, not just about you, but about all other cricketers in the Netherlands team, you know, all about in the Netherlands Cricket Board? What is the situation like?
To be honest, I'm not sure. Obviously, I think everyone has taken a hit, and I think they're working hard. The administrators in Dutch cricket are working hard in sort of seeing how big the damage is. But you know, we've got a lot of cricket to look forward to, which hopefully brings in a bit of money for the players, make sure they can pay the bills at the end of the month. But at the end, it's not something new for Dutch cricketers to maybe do Uber Eats or, you know, work on a part-time job on the side to actually pay the bills. So for me, because I've been with the county in the last 3 or 4 years, it was something a little bit more new, but a challenge that Dutch cricketers are very familiar with. So in that perspective, it was nothing new. And I've been lucky enough in the last 2 weeks by the tweet to pick up another part-time job on the side, working with a company called Quick Score. So I'm doing some personal development with them as well, which, you know, if you ask any cricketer, we all know that cricket career don't last till your pension. So also sort of using this winter to sort of start looking at what I'm gonna do and what I want to do after my cricket career.
All right. Okay, so Paul, the next thing that I would love to ask you is that since the pandemic has begun, it must be hard for keeping up with the trainings, those practice, those bowling drills. So how do you keep up yourself, with this training drills? Anything that you do in the home, indoors?
No, I don't really have the space for it. So it's basically just been running and gymming. Although the gyms have been closed for the last month here again in the UK, but they're opening again next week, so I'll be back in the gym. Other than that, a lot of the indoor facilities we can't use as adults. So at the moment it's just fitness, and I'm getting ready for when sort of the restrictions ease off again. I'll be the first one into the indoor hall with a cricket ball in my hand and start bowling again, and I'm working towards whatever series is up first with the Dutch team.
Absolutely. It will be a pleasure to see you bowl up there, Paul Van. The next thing that I would love to ask you is that, you have been a part of a Super Over final, the 2019. And what was it like, the nerves battling out in the Super Over against the team which had the likes of Andre Russell, all the Russell puzzle. What was it like, the situation, in the finals?
Looked like we were winning that match, and then Andre Russell, she said, is a dangerous player and got it to a tie for the team. And then it's almost a little bit like a blur. And I didn't bowl the over, so I didn't have that pressure of bowling that final over. I was just in the field, and I don't think a ball actually came my way. So I didn't do much during that Super Over. And then what I do actually in most chases, I sit in the change room and actually don't like to watch cricket. So I don't know really what the vibe was. I just know that the last ball, I think that went for 4 between the legs of the keeper, was an edge or something.
It went
that got us across the line. And then just celebrating and having a good night. Unfortunately, we were quite lucky to win that game, but it was a great tournament to be part of.
And speaking about being a part of someone like DJ Bravo, a very enthusiastic guy, the champion dance and all. What was it like? He's one of those charming guys I've seen, I haven't met in personal, but I've heard. And, in the dressing room, how does he keep the environment in the dressing room? I think it would be very interesting.
I didn't know what to expect. He's very professional, and he's very open to talk to. So, doing a few training sessions, he took the bowlers apart and just talked a bit about sort of his bowling plans and what worked for him, and explained how his slow ball was working, because obviously his slow ball dips a lot at the end. So we just did a bit of experimenting with that. Unfortunately, he didn't make it all the way through the tournament, as he had to fly home for some personal reasons. So he wasn't there lifting the trophy with us and teaching us the champions dance. But in the few a couple of weeks I've spent with him, I've learned a lot about sort of, and it shows the experience he has. And in a tournament like that, where teams scored quite heavily, and the bowlers were going for a few runs, it showed that he didn't really care about getting hit for 6. Only, just that one ball that takes the wicket, and that can change the match. And I think that's what I've learned in that tournament and from him, is that if you can go for 5 6s, but you might get then that dangerous batsman out, and that might win you the game. So that one ball as a bowler can mean a lot for the team.
Absolutely, you're just one ball away of the wicket, Doesn't matter, if it's Andre Russell or Chris Lynn or someone else, he might hit you for 2 or 3 6s in an over, but one wicket, one ball will just give you that confidence. Well, yeah, Paul, and the next thing, you have been a part of the T20 World Cup, in India, 2016, and, reminiscing those bowling, against Ireland, 4 for 11. What a figure that was, what a day it was, You got a few good knocks, few good wickets, Kevin O'Brien, and I'm not sure if it was William Porterfield, the other one, or someone else, not really sure. And 2 more, but those were the important wickets, So what was the feeling like, after getting those 4 wickets in a crucial match, crucial tournament?
It was a crucial tournament. Unfortunately, with the way that the tournament was set up, where only the number 1 could go through, we knew it was our last game, so there was not, unfortunately, a lot to play for. except the pride and beating the Irish, which we love doing. But yeah, it all started with Kevin O'Brien with a spectacular catch by Peter Saylor on the boundary with one hand. And then I think the next ball was Paul Sterling.
Yeah, it's Sterling. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't think you think too much about it in the game. It's a lovely thing to remember and something I'm very proud of. But at the game, you just try to do your job. And I was lucky for Peter Saylor to take that one catch, because if that ball went for 4-6, I don't think we would be talking about it today. So he might be the hero in that game and not me.
Absolutely. All right. Okay. Paul, if I drop you in a dilemma, and that is, if we had to choose which is the best figures, for you, which has been the best moment, 3 for 26 against Bermuda, in the qualifiers, 2020 qualifiers, or is it the 4 for 11, against Ireland, which has been your favorite among both of them?
It will be my 4 for 11, I think. It was at the World Cup. It's against Ireland, and no disrespect to Bermuda, but Ireland is probably a slightly stronger team. Yeah. So to do it against a team like that, that means a lot. I think if he qualified for the World Cup in Australia, I probably would have picked that game, because that was a very important game for us. But yeah, if I had to pick between the Bermuda and the Irish one, I would have picked the Irish one.
Yeah, both are important, actually, because if we wouldn't won that game against Bermuda, things would have been different for you also, for your team. Well, it's your choice, and you make it's Ireland. All right. Paul, the other thing is that, being with the likes of Chris Lynn, DJ Bravo, Umar Akmal, you have played with a lot of guys, and what is that one thing, which makes you feel, now you're playing with a very very experienced guys, so do you feel like something different? Oh, it's Umar Rakmal sitting beside me, oh, it's Chris Lynn, oh, it's DJ Bravo, I'm playing with him. Do you take it as obviously you take it as a pride, but any goosebump kind of situation or a fanboying kind of situation that you have encountered with?
Yeah, definitely. I think first couple of days when it sort of was new to me, and obviously sometimes it's still new to me, but sometimes seeing those guys that you grew up watching or that you watch on a daily basis on TV, and then sharing a changing room with them, for me as a cricket lover, it's something special, and I definitely fanboy about it. I think if you ask some of those players when they got to share a changing room like a Ricky Ponting or a Shane Warne or Tendulkar, or they will say exactly the same. We all share that passion for cricket, and then to share a changing room with guys who've done special things in cricket, and you can't, you have to take those opportunities to learn from them, and then hopefully I've done that, and hopefully that made me a better cricketer.
All right, Paul, and now we'll take you to our next segment, and that is a rapid fire segment. We have got a few questions for you, and here we start off. 15 questions for you, and all you need to do is answer a bit rapidly. Well, the first one, the most difficult batsman to face in the nets.
In the nets?
Yep.
I would say Corey Anderson at my time at Somerset. He wasn't fun to bowl at.
All right, Corey Anderson, yes, he had the fastest century, once upon a time in T20 cricket.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, your favorite fast food?
KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay, KFC. Yep, all right. If you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be and why?
There's a flavor I always eat when I'm back in Amsterdam. It's called panna cotta. I grew up panna cotta. It's like a caramel kind of flavor. When I'm in Holland, I always go to this ice cream place and get a panna cotta ice cream. So that will be my flavor.
Okay, if I visit Holland, I'll surely visit your place, and I'll just tell you, man, give me a panna cotta, man. I want to have it.
Exactly, I'll definitely take you.
All right, sure. The next one, your dream destination.
The Maldives.
Maldives, okay, yes, absolutely fine. Even one of my dream destinations in the top 5 list.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what would you say to the 15-year-old Paul Van Meekeren?
Spend a bit more time in the gym.
All right, you're a skinny guy then. We all were.
I used to be. I'm still a little bit, but I've never been the strongest. And I think as a fast bowler, I could have done with a bit more strength. But just to bowl that, not necessarily faster, but to bowl faster for a longer period of time.
Yeah. All right. Well, look who's speaking. I'm a skinny guy too, man. well, yeah. The best prankster that you've met in the dressing room or around the cricket environment.
I would have to say Daan van Dungen, a Dutch player. He loved the prank, and I definitely got pranked him when I joined the Dutch team as during my first tour.
Tell us about the situation. We love storytellings.
I forgot. I wasn't in a great place as I was a little bit injured, and I left my trolley at the airport at the baggage check, and then he made this beautiful looking document saying that my suitcase was found, and they brought it to sort of the destinations we were traveling to, and he made me drive together with the other teammate who was his first trip all the way to the airport in Namibia, which was about an hour and a half away, only for me to find out that it was a joke. So we traveled all the way there for nothing on a day off, which obviously wasn't a day off. It's spent in a car in the heat. He made sure that the driver who was taking us didn't put the air conditioning on in Africa, which was very warm. And I should have known it was a prank, because the name of the person who wrote the letter was a Dutch word for fool. So I should have picked up on that, and that would have saved me a trip to the airport.
You must be pissed off, man. Didn't you punch him over there?
Nah, I think I couldn't do that as a first timer on tour. Luckily, when we traveled back to the Netherlands and we stopped at Johannesburg airport, my bag was actually at lost and found. So I picked up all my stuff and took it back home.
All right. Speaking about the next one, speaking about the Dutch, who do the Dutch fans see as an inspiration? Ranton Deschate or a Peter Boren? Like Ranton Deschate because he played the IPL, and Peter Boren is nominated in the ICC awards.
I would say Peter Boren. I think Peter Boren has done a lot more for Dutch cricket, obviously leading the team for a long time, being in Holland, working with some of the youth now at the moment, and the senior squads as a coach. Where Tendo obviously are probably around the world is a big name in Dutch cricket, but it's great to have him back in the Dutch team after about 6 years out. So I spent quite a bit of time with Tendo when we on tour and play cards. He's a great guy to hang around. But as Dutch cricket and for Dutch fans, probably Peter Boren has done a bit more for the Dutch team and Dutch cricket. So definitely Peter Boren.
Yeah, looking at Ranton Deschate, he looks like a very cool guy and composed guy, man. I'm a big fan of him, being honest.
Me too.
All right. The next one for you. Your biggest fear, Paul. What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, needles. When I have to go for an injection or something, I hate needles. Always have, and I'm not a fan of the buggers.
All right. The next one. Someone whom you want to bat for your life.
I would have to say Pujara. I think was it Pujara or Rahane? Who those two seem to spend a lot of time in the middle, and actually bat for time. So if it's about not getting out, one of those two. If it's about quick runs, it's probably be someone like Dre Russell.
Oh yeah, Russell Muscle. Well, the next one. If you would not be a cricketer, what would you be? If not a cricketer, what would you be?
I've always said maybe a policeman. Yeah.
Really?
I probably would have said a policeman, or maybe work with animals in a zoo or something. I adore animals, so I've always said those two things were quite a big interest for me.
A bit like Evan Peterson. I've seen him. He loves animals, especially rhinos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, your dream wicket that you want to take, someone whose wicket you are keen to take. There must be many, but one you need to choose.
I will go Virat Kohli.
Everyone does.
there's so many good batters around the world, but if you look at his stats and you know how he dominates in every format, doesn't matter if you play T20, ODI cricket against someone like him. I think he's one of those big guys that you want to get out.
Okay, the last but not the least, the best hairstyle that you've made so far.
My personal hairstyle.
No. Like among all of those persons you've encountered with till now in the cricketing field, who has got the best hairstyle?
The best hairstyle.
Andre Russell?
You know what? I don't really know. I can't really give you an answer. Most of the guys are wearing a cap on the cricket field, so I don't.
Off the field? You've made a few. Chris Lynn?
I think
You don't have
I
hair?
maybe say Lasith Malinga. Maybe Lasith Malinga.
All right.
He's got that famous hair. You know, if someone puts a wig on, everyone knows. Oh, that's Malinga.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll go for him.
Would you like to try that one anytime?
I used to have Malinga kind of hair, like long curly hair, but I've taken that off a few years ago.
Okay. So the last one for the moment till now, you know, and this is a bit, you know, a bit pranky style, you know, and one good boy slang with which you would love to describe what COVID-19 has done to all of us.
Don't know. I can't. Yeah, I think you beat me there. I don't think I can give you an answer. Don't know. Come back to me in a couple of days when I can think about it.
All right.
Maybe it's unknown. Maybe it's like maybe people don't have an answer to it because for everyone it's been different. So you know, I think for me, I've taken a lot of positives out of it and a lot of good things. But then you know, I think also a lot of people around the world have found it very negative and lost jobs and lost loved ones. So I'm quite lucky that obviously I haven't really felt those negatives. A lot of the negative things, and for me it's been more positive, or I've taken more positives out of it because obviously it's not a positive thing, but
there are a few positive aspects. If you look at the animals, you know, the pollution have reduced and many things others, you know.
Exactly. So you know, globally, it's around the world, it's probably a tough hit, but personally. You know, I can't complain too much. I'm still in good health. My family and friends are in good health. So yeah, I count myself very lucky.
All right. Okay, Paul. And before we finish off this session, you know, I've got a few questions for you. Lastly, and also something for the fans, you know, and that is, if you know, for a budding cricketer, you know, who aspires to become a bowler, you know, what are the things that you would love to, you know, give some tips to him or her, you know, if someone wishes to grow as a bowler.
Yeah, you know, as a fast bowler, don't try and bowl fast. Just do it. It's something. The harder you try and bowl fast, sometimes the slower you bowl. So just stay relaxed. And make sure you know you do a lot of running. I think a lot of bowlers, you know, if you look at bowlers against batters, bowlers aren't this, you know, strong and don't have really the big muscles. We are lean and we are strong, but in a different way. So don't go into the gym and go lifting heavy weights. Make sure you accordingly as a bowler. And the best thing for bowlers, I think, is just running. Do a lot of running, maybe not full sprints or too slow, but like at 70 or 80% the speed of your run up, and just make sure you just run and get miles in your legs.
All right, and lastly, you know, you have been in India in 2016, so what is the most best thing that you love about India and one worst thing that you really didn't like in India?
The food. I love the food.
Everyone
great
does.
flavors. Yeah, no, you know, I always enjoy that. Yeah, so the food is one, and what I don't like is I think sometimes it's hard to see the poverty in India.
It's
you know,
really
people begging for food or money and those little things. You know, where I'm from, you know, you don't see that a lot, and then especially my first couple of times in India, it's sometimes hard to see the people struggling just to get food. I think that's the negative thing.
It really is, it really is a very big concern. Well, one of the most poverty-stricken countries, alongside. Well, keeping that aside, for the moment. And
Exactly.
and
Let's focus on cricket.
Yeah, focus on cricket. Well, but we have almost come to the end of this session, and thank you so much, Paul, for coming up here, showing up here, and we might see more of Paul Van Meekeren along with us. But before that, all the best wishes for the 2021 Cricket World Cup. We wish you very, very good luck, and also to your team. We're hoping for an India versus Netherlands fixture, and some good moments. All right.
Thanks, Emmy. Let's hope. When we're at the World Cup next year, make sure you wear orange to support us, and then we can hopefully put a good show on.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Paul, for coming up here. And guys, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, make sure you do subscribe. Cricket Reborn for many more such podcast video sessions and many other interactive videos and many other fun-based videos. Well, guys. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, where you'll get all those updates coming up. And see you soon. And Paul, anything lastly you want to say to all of us and about the show?
Subscribe, people. Just subscribe to your great page. And thanks for having me. You've been a blast to talk to.
Yeah, thank you so much. Same here from my side. And thank you so much, guys. See you soon.